Boom! Gunfire, screaming, tore through the snowstorm as plasma bolts hissed past Sergeant Cole's helmet. He dove behind a half-melted barricade, heart hammering, breath fogging the air. Reload! Keep firing or we die loud. He barked, ejecting a spent magazine. Private Henders rasped beside him. They think Earth's soft? Cute. The alien barrage painted the night in molten blue streaks. Each impact sent shivers through the frozen ground. Cole risked a glance. Across the ridge, the Keth raiders advanced, four-limbed, armored, sneering. Their amplifiers boomed across the field. Humans lack apex killers. This planet is prey. Cole gritted his teeth. Push them back, he shouted, though his voice was swallowed by the storm. The squad's return fire lit the snow like strobe lights, but the aliens kept coming, relentless and mocking. A plasma round struck Private Juno Square in the chest. She fell without a sound. Henders cursed and fire blind until his rifle clicked empty. We need something meaner than bullets, he muttered. Cole slammed his comms unit. Command, release the package now. Static crackled back. Say again, Sergeant, release it. We're out of time. You're insane. Those things aren't pets, shouted Lieutenant Vargas from the command truck. Better them than extinction, Cole growled. He ducked as another explosion swallowed a squad mate. Low growl echoed faintly beneath the gunfire. The sound froze everyone. Even the aliens hesitated. From the smoke, a reinforced crate rose on hydraulics, hissing as locks disengaged. The front plate dropped with a clang. Three shapes stalked out, low, thick-furred, eyes burning red under helmet lights. Honey badgers, genetically tuned for aggression, pain immune, fear non-existent. Humanity's final gamble. The aliens laughed over comms. Tiny beasts, this is your apex predator. Cole's grin was grim. You asked for nightmares. Goosebumps, the badgers moved like smoke, silent, deliberate. One sniffed the air and snarled. The aliens opened fire. Plasma bolts scorched the snow, but the badgers didn't flinch. Open the cage. Cole yelled. Henders whispered. It already is. Then all hell broke loose. The first badger hit the nearest Keth trooper like a bullet. Its claws raked through alien armor, tearing circuitry and flesh. The second darted between plasma bursts, clamping onto another's leg until bone cracked. The third charged the command line, shrieking with a sound that didn't belong on Earth. Holy hell, whispered Vargas through comms. They're not animals, Cole said. They're consequences. Goosebumps, one badger leaped onto a towering alien exosuit and ripped through its chest cavity like wet paper. Sparks and green ichor burst into the snow. The Keth stumbled back, formation collapsing. Panic infected their ranks faster than fire. Their evolving anger, Henders murmured, voice trembling. Cole barely heard. He was too busy keeping his squad alive, too busy watching the impossible. The badgers advanced beside the soldiers, eyes glinting with something close to purpose. Goosebumps, in that blizzard-lit madness, humans and beasts became one rhythm of defiance. Alien comms cracked again, this time filled with static and fear. Human commander, one voice rasped. What have you unleashed? Cole replied, survival instincts, just like yours, only meaner. Snow flurries thickened. The alien line broke completely, leaving smoldering craters and shredded armor. The surviving Keth retreated up the ridge, shrieking. Cole exhaled, steam swirling from his lips. We hold this ground, he ordered, though the words barely rose above the storm. Then the earth rumbled. A deep vibration spread beneath their boots. Vargas's voice cut through the channel. Sergeant, something big's inbound. Cole turned toward the horizon. The snow parted as an enormous drop pod slammed down, splitting the ice with a quake. The hull peeled open, and a shadow larger than any tank stepped out, claws glinting under alien floodlights. Cole swallowed hard. If that thing lives, he said quietly, chambering around. None of us do. Dead silence, heartbeat. The tremor deepened, rising through the storm-soaked ground until it vibrated in Cole's ribs. The Keth halted their advance, shoulders tightening as they stared at the ridge where the shadow had emerged. Cole lifted a fist to still his squad. Hinders swallowed hard. Juno steadied her weapon, and each soldier braced for whatever would crest through the swirling snow. The battlefield grew unnervingly quiet, as though the storm itself held its breath. When the creature stepped forward, its silhouette became clearer, tall, angular, and crowned with bioluminescent ridges that pulsed like a heartbeat. It wasn't charging, wasn't roaring, it simply observed. That alone unsettled Cole more than any attack. Beasts acted. Commander studied. The Keth stiffened as if chastised by a superior no one had known existed. Cole noted every movement, trying to decipher hierarchy from posture the same way he had with hostile groups back on Earth. Juno edged closer to Cole, her voice low. Is that their leader? Feels like something they respect, Cole replied. Which means it's dangerous. The creature barked a guttural command, and the Keth instantly repositioned, forming a defensive crescent. Their earlier arrogance vanished, replaced by discipline Cole hadn't seen during the entire engagement. It changed the dynamic instantly. If the aliens had been toying with them before, the game was ending. Cole scanned his dwindling squad. Exhaustion carved deep lines into faces still too young for war. Yet he also saw resolve, a refusal to bow even when the enemy escalated. He felt responsible for stoking that fire. If he faltered, they might too. Leadership wasn't simply ordering maneuvers. It was anchoring those who drifted in fear. The creature raised its staff, a sleek limb of alloy and bone, and slammed it into the ice. A shock wave rippled outward, cracking the crust beneath their feet. Hinder stumbled. Cole grabbed his shoulder, steadying him. Focus. They want us rattled. I'm already rattled, Hinders murmured, but he steadied his rifle regardless. That willingness to push through fear mattered more than bravado. Cole filed it away, another reminder of the soldier he was rapidly becoming. The Keth began advancing again, now with calculated precision. Cole adjusted positions, calling out vectors, trying to anticipate the new commander's strategy. Plasma fire resumed, sharper and more disciplined. Every step cost them more ammunition, more blood. Cole's mind raced, evaluating retreat routes, fallback lines, anything that would keep his squad breathing long enough to hold until reinforcements arrived, if they arrived at all. Juno dropped beside him, chambering a fresh magazine. We're not winning this with bullets, Sergeant. No, Cole agreed. But we can keep them from winning. The alien commander shifted, its glowing ridges pulsing with an unfamiliar rhythm. Cole watched closely. Its attention wasn't fully on the humans. It kept glancing toward the mountain's base, as though waiting for something. That detail stuck in Cole's mind like a thorn. The Keth were confident, but their leader wasn't complacent. If they were expecting reinforcement, the squad's survival window was narrowing by the second. Cole keyed his comms, hoping the storm would spare even a single transmission. Command, this is Sergeant Cole. Enemy just escalated. We need extraction or artillery, whichever gets here first. Only Static answered. He bit back frustration. Rage didn't help anyone. As the Keth advanced, the alien commander stepped to the front line, raising its staff again. Light pulsed at its tip, gathering like a forming star. Cole recognized danger instantly. Spread out, he yelled, pushing Juno aside as the staff discharged a beam that sliced through the snow like a blade. The blast carved a trench where they'd been standing moments before. The ground glowed red-hot, and the air tasted metallic for vaporized ice. Cole stared at the devastation, breath tight. They couldn't withstand many more attacks like that. He turned toward his squad, ready to issue new orders, when another tremor rolled through the earth, deeper and closer than before. This one didn't come from the alien commander, and it was moving straight toward them. The second tremor rose like a warning growl from the depths of the mountain. Cole felt it first through his palms, pressed to the ice, then through the air itself as a low vibration humming in his chest. The Keth commander stiffened, staff lowering a fraction as the snow behind its formation shifted unnaturally. Whatever approached wasn't part of anyone's plan. Not the humans, not the aliens, and certainly not the calm before it. Henders shot Cole a tense look. "Sergeant, please tell me that's our backup." Cole shook his head once. If it were ours, command would have bragged about it. His voice remained steady, but tension carved itself into every syllable. The squad trusted that steadiness. They needed it now more than ever. The ridge split open with a grinding crack. Ice sheared off in slabs, tumbling down like shattered glass. From the widening fissure, a flood of heat surged outward, steam rising in snarling plumes. The Keth formation wavered, soldiers backing away as instinct overrode discipline. The commander barked orders, though its voice trembled, the first sign of fear Cole had seen in the alien ranks. That observation lodged itself in his mind. Whatever emerged held power beyond familiar threats. Juno steadied her stance. "Permission to retreat?" she asked, half joking, half pleading. "Not until we understand what we're dealing with," Cole said. "Blind retreat gets us killed." The fissure erupted. A titanic shape lurched into view, all angular plates and volcanic light searing through cracks in its hide. The creature dwarfed both armies, moving with a slow, dreadful inevitability. Cole's breath caught. He had seen Keth war beasts in archive footage, but this thing surpassed those by magnitudes. Its presence redefined the battlefield, shrinking every soldier into insignificance. The Keth commander reacted first, raising its staff and barking orders that cracked like thunder. Its warriors tried to flank the behemoth, weapons glowing with fully charged plasma. Their precision contrasted sharply with the panic in their posture. Cole saw an opportunity. Fear leveled all species when big enough. He motioned his squad closer. "Listen up," he murmured. "That thing isn't here for us. It's fixated on the Keth. We use that." Henders frowned. "Use it how?" "As a distraction." "As cover," Cole answered. "As long as their lines break, we move." Juno studied him, recognizing his intent. "You're planning a maneuver behind the collapse." "Exactly. Survival isn't always about strength, it's about timing." Cole's voice softened. "You two have good instincts. Trust them now." The subtle acknowledgement strengthened their resolve. They weren't just following orders, they were growing into leaders. The creature roared, a sound that shook the sky. The Keth fired in unison, but the plasma dispersed against its molten hide, absorbed like rain on stone. The commander lunged forward, staff blazing, striking the creature's knee joint. The blow staggered it, but only slightly. It swiped back with catastrophic force, obliterating a swath of alien soldiers. Cole seized the moment. "Move! Now!" The squad sprinted along the ridge's edge, using the creature's chaos as a veil. Every step felt precarious, the ice groaning beneath them from the ongoing quake. Cole kept watch on each soldier, ensuring none fell behind. He saw fear in their eyes, yes, but also determination sharpened by everything they had already endured. Then the Keth commander turned, not toward the creature, but toward Cole's moving squad. Its ridges flared with violent light, and Cole recognized the shift instantly. Their window was closing. The alien lifted its staff, gathering another catastrophic charge. Cole shoved Henders ahead and braced himself, raising his rifle though he knew it wouldn't matter. The creature noticed the charging staff, and it turned its massive head straight toward Cole. The creature's molten gaze fixed on Cole, its pupils narrowing like cooling metal. For a heartbeat, the battlefield froze, Keth soldiers wavering mid-charge, steam rising from cracked ice, Cole standing exposed beneath the alien commander's raised staff. Juno shouted his name, but her voice dissolved into the storm. Cole didn't move. Some instinct told him that any sudden action would provoke both Titan and Commander, and he needed them focused on each other, not the remnants of his squad. The Titan shifted its weight, lowering its head toward the Commander. Its hide glowed brighter, fissures shimmering like fire trapped beneath stone. Cole felt the heat radiating even from meters away. He steadied his breath. Every second he stayed alive mattered, not just for him, but for the people who trusted him to lead them out of this nightmare. The commander released its charge first. A beam of condensed plasma shot toward Cole, but the Titan intercepted, absorbing the blast with its armored shoulder. The creature roared, a guttural, volcanic shriek, and swiped at the commander. The ground fractured as its claws dug trenches through the ice. "Sergeant, move!" Henders yelled, grabbing Cole's arm. Cole allowed himself to be pulled back, retreating just far enough to avoid the debris raining down around them. Yet he never took his eyes off the Titan or the commander. Their clash defined the battlefield now. Humanity was merely surviving in the shadow of their collision. The commander leapt aside with surprising agility, striking the Titan's jaw with its staff. Light exploded from the impact. The Titan reeled, cracking ice plates from its own hide. Cole recognized the battle's shift instantly. Neither was unchallenged. The Titan wasn't invincible, and the commander wasn't untouchable. If either fell, the balance of destruction would tilt. Juno slid beside Cole, panting, visor fogged from exertion. "We have to run." "We run. We die tired," Cole countered. "Our chance is when they break each other." "You're betting both sides lose?" "I'm betting they stop noticing us long enough to make our move." Henders joined them, coughing through grit. "Then what?" "We're boxed in by cliffs." "Not for long," Cole said. "The ice is fracturing. When it gives, we follow the break downward. It'll lead somewhere, safe or not. It's better than being caught in the open." The ground quaked again. The Titan lunged, jaws clamping around the commander's torso. The alien's ridges pulsed violently, and it jammed its staff into the Titan's throat. A shockwave burst outward, throwing Cole and his squad off their feet. Snow and shards of ice pelted them as they slid across the ridge. Cole scrambled upright, just in time to see the Titan stumble backward, bellowing with a sound that shook the air itself. The ice beneath it splintered. A massive crack shot across the battlefield, racing toward the humans like a living thing. Cole shoved Juno and Henders away from the incoming fracture, diving after them as the ridge groaned and shifted. "Go! Down the slope," he commanded, pushing them ahead while keeping an eye on the commander, who now limped, staff flickering. Even wounded, it radiated fury. It locked eyes with Cole, cold, calculating, wounded pride simmering beneath its armor. Juno reached the edge of the slope and looked back. "Sergeant, now!" Cole sprinted toward them just as the Titan collapsed fully into the ice chasm, dragging half the ridge with it. The commander braced itself, stabbing its staff into the ground. Cracks flared beneath Cole's boots. He dove, sliding onto the slope alongside his squad as the world behind them gave way. The ridge fell into a roaring abyss, swallowing Titan, commander, and battlefield in a single thunderous collapse. Snow billowed upward, masking everything in white. The slope carried them deeper into the mountain's shadow until the sound faded into distant echoes. Cole lay on his back, chest heaving, snow melting against his armor. Juno and Henders stared at him, shaken but alive. He exhaled a long breath, letting the silence settle. "If anyone asks," he said, voice rough but steady, "we didn't run." He turned his gaze toward the fractured horizon. "We outlasted